All right, everybody, welcome back to another market update, this time for the month of May 2023. Obviously, it's June 5th today. Yeah, so this is kind of this is going to be the market update for this month. Now, I guess before we start, I can address the big news out here in Nova Scotia, which has been these really big forest fires, one of them being located just outside of Halifax in kind of two of the neighborhoods that we're actually going to cover in here today. The Tantallon neighborhood, and then the Hammonds Plains area. So it was kind of spread across those two areas. But you know, if you are, when we go through here, I'll kind of point out on the maps before we get to those areas where the fire actually occurred. So those are pretty much out as of today. We've had a ton of rain over the last 2 days. It is pouring rain right now. We had lightning like a little bit earlier, so I think it's 100% contained. I know that one is. I don't know if that means it's fully out or whatnot. I think the firefighters have to get in there and you know, get under the trees and make sure all the fires are out under there. So that is being dealt with. Now, the one down at the south end of the province, towards basically towards Yarmouth, is still somehow there's still a fire down there. I anticipate that in the next couple of days, we still have some rain on the forecast, so that should be getting done. But we'll hop into here and we'll kind of address that as we get in through the relevant neighborhoods. For those tuning in for the first time, my name's Tom Moore. I'm a realtor here with RE/MAX in Halifax. I do one of these every month, and the way that we kind of go through this is the first one. So we're going to do Bedford here, is the first neighborhood, but we go through each neighborhood and go over the stats. The first one, which is Bedford, I would advise you just watch that so you're kind of aware of what all the numbers mean and everything like that. And then the other neighborhoods on the bottom bar there, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just actually skip to the neighborhoods that might be of interest to you. Okay, so let's hop into it. So again, as always, we got the Bedford area. And actually up here in this corner was kind of where the fire was a little bit, over in this neck of the woods, the top left-hand corner towards the Hammonds Plains and whatnot. But there will be better views of that later on. So addressing these numbers. So we've got total sales and days on market. The first numbers are total sales. So last month, in April, we had 43, and then in May, we had 51. Same for the days on market. So in the month of April, we had 11, and then we had 7. So generally what these numbers mean, obviously the total sales is pretty self-explanatory. Days on market means how long that property is on the market for. So a very hot market would be 5 or 6 days on the market. Generally, that means the agent is putting it on a Tuesday or Wednesday. They're allowing for 5 or 6 days of showings. And then on that 6th or 7th day, they're accepting offers, which means they're anticipating multiple offers, and they can all come in at the same time. The longer that number is, the more that generally dictates whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. Again, we're still really in a buyer's market here throughout, but maybe the higher priced homes are sitting a little bit longer, and Bedford does tend to have a little bit higher priced product there. So showings per listing and new listing. Again, showings per listing, this is supposed to represent kind of how many families is coming through that property before it's actually getting sold. 8 is quite a high, is quite a, you know, it means that there's a lot of interest in it. 8 and up, really 7 and up. But you know, this will vary. Obviously, same thing. The first 8 there is from April, 8.2 is from May. And then new listings, self-explanatory. So we had 60 in April and 63 in May. Sale price, list price percentage. What this is basically if the property was priced at $100, it's selling for, in the month of May, $98.7. In the month of April, $99.3. So when this is above 100%, it means that the properties on average are going for over asking. Now this can obviously, if we had total sales of 51. I'm sure there was several that went for over asking, and obviously several that didn't go for over asking. So that's just another way to kind of dictate, or a piece of info that we can use to go through and see what's going on in the market. Single family monthly comparison. This is single family households, what their monthly average is basically. So in April, we had 735,000. May, 630,000. And in Bedford, you get a pretty wide range of houses, but again, most of them are going to be up above the 600s. Price per square foot, self-explanatory for the single families here, 280 in April, 281 in May. Condo monthly comparison. So this is just what basically same thing for the single family house, only in this case it's a condo. So we had $466,500 in April and $389 or 89,000 in May. Price per square foot is $284 versus $364 per square foot. Okay. Moving on to Bridgewater. Okay, so this is an hour south of Halifax, a little bit over that on pretty much a divided highway all the way there. Total sales on days on market, we had an increase to 9 from 8. Days on market, we saw an increase to 7 from 6. Showings per listing and new listings. Showings per listing was 4.8. New listing was 11. Sale price to list price percentage, 95%. Single family monthly comparison is 400,000. Price per square foot went up to $278. That's almost $100 increase. Clayton Park and Rockingham. So this area is located basically between 15 and 10 minutes to downtown Halifax. Total sales and days on market, we had 31 and 5 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 11.4 and 45 respectively. So that's pretty high for showings per listing. It's moving quick there. Sale price to list price percentage obviously backs that up at 105%. So considering we had 31 total sales, 105%, that's obviously a lot of those are going for over asking. Single family monthly comparison, we saw average of 777,000. Price per square foot took a little drop from 289 to 267. Moving into condos, we saw basically it stayed the same at 380,000, and the price per square foot went up to $342. Right, Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, kind of out by the beaches there. Total sales and days on market in 29 and 4 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 12.1 and 28. Sale price to list price percentage, spit it out, geez. 101.8%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw an increase to $470,000. Price per square foot, saw a little bit of an increase by $14 to $244. All right, Dartmouth. So this is one of our kind of larger areas. This in Sackville that we're drawing from, the Sackville. So the we'll get to that when we get to the Sackvilles. Total sales and days on market, 68 and 5 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 15.2 and 77 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage, up 2% to 104.4%. So a lot going over asking there. If we look at the total sales of 68, that's a pretty heavy number for all those to be going over asking, right? So there's a lot of movement going on there in terms of buyers looking to purchase. Single family monthly comparison, we saw 508,000, and the price per square foot dropped a little bit to $269. Condo monthly comparison, $399,000, basically 400. Price per square foot, however, dropped by about $30 to $334 per square foot. And in Dartmouth, you've got a pretty wide variety of condos, older ones, newer ones like King's Wharf, and then you've got some stuff that are kind of in between. Downtown Halifax, again, we're only pulling condo data for this one. This is only condos. There is Schmidtville, but there's not too much movement there. And yeah, total sales and days on market, 6 and 12 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 3.9 and 10 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 97.6%, so a little bit under asking. Condo monthly comparison, $360,000. Price per square foot, however, was quite high at the $577 per square foot. A lot of people do find can be a little surprised at how condos are priced in some of these wealthier areas, just in terms of what you can get when you're looking at other big cities. For instance, in the South End, as we'll get to that, you'll see that the condos are quite a bit less than what you'd purchase for a house. Obviously, that does make sense, but there's not a ton of deviation when looking at some of these higher priced areas residentially versus some of the lower priced areas residentially and comparing the condos. Eastern Passage and Calbay, and that can be, depending on what you're looking at, that can be due to high condo fees, right? Which is something that people, so high strata fees. I know my BC watchers, that's kind of what you would call those, but that's something that you can get a bit of sticker shock when you move out here. But it really depends on what's included with those fees and if there's any kind of perceived work coming up or anything like that. So it's always worth taking a peek and seeing if it's a bit more worth a bit more research. So Eastern Passage and Calbay, again, there's some great beaches out there. Total sales and days on market 31 and 5. Showings per listing and new listing, we had 7.9 for showings per listing and new listings 33. Sale price to list price percentage, again, 104%. So a little bit of an uptick there from 100% in the month of April. A single family monthly comparison, we saw a decrease to 425,000. Price per square foot, we saw just a slight increase of $2 to $258 per square foot. Eastern Shore and Lawrencetown, so kind of the North Shore, if you will, of Halifax. Lots of beaches out here, great sailing, great lake stuff. You know, just it's a pretty good spot. And the travel times can vary, but probably no more than an hour and 20 minutes to the head of Jedore. And obviously everything between Jedore and Halifax is going to shorten. But there is a hospital out there too. So, you know, kind of food for thought. Total sales and days on market, 12 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 9.2. Geez, that's pretty high for this area. 9.2. I guess we're kind of moving into cottage time. So there's quite a few cottages out there that people might be looking at this time of year. New listings, we saw 19. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.9. Single family monthly comparison, 470,000, up 9,000. And price per square foot was 202, now 296 per square foot. Okay, Enfield up by the airport there. Again, probably depending on where you are on the far end, you'd be about 40-minute drive. Closer end, you'd be probably 25-30-minute drive to downtown. Total sales and days on market, 24 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.7 and 41. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 100% across the board. And single family monthly comparison, we saw a decrease of $100,000 to $427,000. So there's some new builds out there too. And if you're looking for new builds in Halifax, this is probably going to be your cheapest area. Again, you're going to sacrifice, I guess, travel time to this downtown core of Halifax for some price points, right? If you're looking for new builds that are on more expensive end or closer to Halifax, you're going to pay a bit more of a premium for that. Price per square foot, we saw $258. Fairview. I actually thought I got rid of this slide, but obviously I did not. Total sales and days on market, 3 and 4 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 17.7. Jeez, that's a lot. That is a lot. Showings per listing and new listings, 4. So, you know, there's a lot of people trying to get into Fairview, and that's because you're very, very close to the peninsula. Price points tend to be quite a bit lower there. So, you know, if you think about the long-term development of the city, that proximity to the peninsula of Halifax, which is kind of that island right here. If you look at, you can see how Halifax is almost surrounded by water there. Fairview tends to be very close and it has quite low property prices. So people are looking for that cheaper property that has a short commute, right? Single family monthly comparison, sale price to list price percentage. This is obviously one of the higher ones at 115%. Single family monthly comparison, 390,000 down from 470. Price per square foot was 404. Now it's 281 per square foot. Fall River, really nice lake country, located about half an hour to downtown, maybe. Total sales and days on market, 15 and 6 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.7 and 24 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage is 100%. Single family monthly comparison is at 668,000. Price per square foot was $249. Now it's $278. Hammonds Plains and Lucasville. Okay, so right here is where the fire was. This is probably our best view. So you can see kind of this little, so this is kind of the shopping district. This would have, or wait, yeah, this is the shopping district here, which would have, you know, your Rona, your Sobeys, there's a hockey rink there and everything. The fire was kind of all around here. Yeah, in this general area. So part of Hammonds Plains is called Yankeetown. That's an area that got hit really, really hard. But all this was evacuated through here. And then there was another area here that got hit quite hard, I believe, as well. So I literally just got another update here we get these emergency updates and so Upper Hammonds Plains can return home. So pretty much everybody except for a couple streets, I think, are now able to return home, and we're June 5th. So that's been burning for, I think a week. That's what it was. So it was going heavy, but we had a lot of help from a lot of people, which is great. Total sales and days on market, 18 and 12. Showings per listing and new listing, 7.4 and 38 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage dropped 1 percentage point to 99%. Single family monthly comparison, 770,000. Price per square foot, $294 per square foot. North End Halifax. Okay, one of our larger peninsula areas that we pull from. And again, probably the cheapest real estate on the peninsula currently. All right, total sales, days on market, 35 and 5 respectively. So very quick. Things are coming on and coming off real quick right now. And big change from 12 days on market in the month of April. Showings per listing and new listing, we had 8.2 and 34 respectively. So decent amount of people coming in and out of that house. And then sale price to list price percentage actually dropped from 105% to 100%. Single family monthly comparison, 590,000, up over $100,000 from 475. Price per square foot, 425 in the month of April, 410 in the month of May. Condo monthly comparison, we saw a slight drop of about $7,000 to 499,000, and the price per square foot saw a slight rise from 619 to 662. Sackville and Beaverbank. So this is one of the larger areas we're pulling from. Ton of different comparables here. You've got lake houses, you've got brand new houses, you've got old houses, you've got duplexes, you've got side-by-sides, trailers, everything. Total sales and days on market, you got 74 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 13.9 and 62 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage is 104.6%, so up quite a bit there from 100 in the month of May. Single family monthly comparison, 460,000. Now it's 510,000. Price per square foot was 262, and now it's 265. Spryfield and Armdale. Okay. About 10 or 15 years ago, this was kind of home to the first forest fire that I can remember. We don't really get too many forest fires out here near the city, especially. It's more of an Alberta thing. And I guess, well, obviously the country is huge, so I'm sure there's some more rural areas that get a lot of them too. Total sales and days on market, 37 and 5 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 9.4 and 37. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw basically it stayed the same at 100.1%. Single family monthly comparison down or up 11,000 to 541,000. Price per square foot moved from 311 to 290. Condo monthly comparison was 373 in the month of April and 385 in the month of May. And the price per square foot was at $350, moving down $9 from the month of April. South End Halifax, they're a wealthier area. Total sales and days on market, 13 and 4 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.7 and 27 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage is 98.6%. Single family monthly comparison was 948,000 in the month of April, and it went up quite significantly to 1.3 million in the month of May. Price per square foot was at 502 per square foot. Now it's at 601. Moving on to condo monthly comparison, was at 590,000. Now it's at 415,000. So I'm not sure. Thinking of condos at that price, there's a couple kind of small condo buildings where it's like a fourplex or a sixplex that's been broken up into a condo building. You might be able to get something there, or something that's quite old. But the new ones are kind of in that 500 to 600 range in the Goresbrook, and then down kind of by Southport. Price per square foot, 682 was in the month of April, 512 was the month of May. South Shore, so kind of our Cottage Cove, or cottage area. You got Lunenburg, Mahone Bay down there, Chester, quite a large area, lots of beautiful properties. Total sales and days on market, 14 and 23 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 5.5 and 34. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.1, up a little less than a percentage point. Single family monthly comparison was at 625 in the month of April, and now 482,000 in the month of May. Price per square foot went up from 297 to 319. Sydney, Nova Scotia. So again, this is up in Cape Breton, kind of the capital of Cape Breton Island, if you will. One of the larger larger towns up there. Well, definitely the largest town up there. Total sales and days on market, 20 and 6 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, we had 6.4, so it stayed the same. The new listings went up 5 to 26. Sale price to list price percentage bumped up 0.5% to 100.5%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw a little bit of an increase to $282,000, and the price per square foot was at 154. Now it's at 165. Again, Sydney, you're quite far away from Halifax, so you probably would, well, you would not be commuting into Halifax from there. So the prices are quite a bit cheaper down there, or up there, I should say. Okay, Tantallon, Hubley. This would be the other area again that was affected by the fire. Same thing, kind of this area. Total sales, days on market, 13 and 8 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 6.3 and 19. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.9%. Single family monthly comparison was at 621,000 month of April, and now it's at 800,000 the month of May. It's quite a wide variety out there. You can get some oceanfront homes, you can get some lakefront homes, and you can get some stuff that's not. So the prices can vary quite a bit, but it's an area that's kind of become more populated in the last 30 years or so. So you get a lot of houses that are 30 years old, 20 years old, and some that are older. Price per square foot, 276 in the month of April and 263 in the month of May. Timberlea, Beechville, home to a couple new build communities and a golf course community. Brunello Estates, if you want to give that a look, that's kind of one of the only, there in Glen Arbor, the two only real communities where they're situated around a golf course. Total sales and days on market, 25 and 6 respectively. Showings per listing and new listings, 10 and 29. Sale price to list price percentage, 101.7%. Single family monthly comparison is $515,000. Price per square foot is $290 per square foot. Truro, so this is again another kind of commuter town. You got everything you need here. It's about an hour away from Halifax on the divided highway, downtown Halifax, I should say. So if you're going to Burnside or Dartmouth, it can be quicker. Yeah, they got everything you really need there. Total sales and days on market, 23 and 10 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 5.1 and 22. Sale price to list price percentage was at 98.6%. Single family monthly comparison was 244. Now it's 330,000. Price per square foot went up from $173 to $188. West End Halifax, we're getting down to the end here now. Another great neighborhood. The neighborhood that I grew up in. Total sales and days on market, 17 and 9 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 7.4 and 24. Sale price to list price percentage stayed the same at 100%. We saw single family monthly comparison move slightly down by 10,000 to 740,000. Price per square foot was 466,000. Sorry, $466. Be crazy. 466,000 per square foot. That would be an expensive house. Windsor, Nova Scotia. So this is our last one, last commuter area. Again, hour towards the Bay of Fundy, divided highways. Yeah, pretty easy commute. Total sales and days on market, 21 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listings, 6.4 and 26. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.2%. Single family monthly comparison, 392,000. Price per square foot is up about $10, or it's $8 to $232 per square foot. Okay, folks. Well, that's all she wrote for the month of May. I think we're kind of starting to reach that peak that we always see in that bell curve, where probably coming in the month of July, it'll either stay the same or slightly start to decrease a bit. Again, when we're talking about that bell curve, we're talking about basically the inventory at its lowest point in late December, early January, and then it once again starts to climb and will eventually reach its peak right around this time of the year. But we got a lot of buyers out there. We do have a lot of listings. You know, I'm getting accepted offers here, which is great for the buyers that are with me, but we are having to go over asking for quite a few of these. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you're thinking about shopping around out here, if you're thinking about listing your house, then, you know, you want to list where there's going to be enough activity so that you do drum up some of that competition. Other than that, though, everybody have a great day, and see you in the next video. All right.